Welcome back. You ready to narrow down your target client, but you're not quite sure where to start? This video is for you. Today, I'm going to share with you exactly how I narrow down my target client. What is a target client? A target client is also called an ideal client avatar. Sometimes might be called a target market or a target demographic. Basically, it's the client that you want to go after. It's the client who gets the best results with you, and it's the client that you enjoy working with. Those essentially are the three ways that I narrow down my target client. Now, there is a method of finding, what's that demographic and who's that person and creating an ideal client avatar. But really what it all boils down to is starting with these three things. So the very first thing that you need to do in order to narrow down your target client is to determine, what do you actually enjoy? Like, what problem do you enjoy solving? What problem really gets you excited? For example, there might be several things that you're good at, and there might be several things that your ideal client needs. My ideal client is someone who needs help with marketing. Now, that's a very, very broad subject, and I can help in a lot of different areas. I can help with, marketing yourself on like a webinar presentation. I can help with marketing your business online via email. I can help with ads, and there are several different areas of marketing that I'm qualified to help with, and I'm very talented at helping my ideal clients in. However, there's certain problems that I prefer solving and things that really get me excited and get me lit up. And for me, what really gets me excited is being able to help a client get clear on their story, for them to really understand like why someone should work with them, for them to really understand and be confident in who they are, what they offer, and how that changes people. And that falls and goes hand in hand with helping them create a webinar presentation. So that's one of my favorite things to do with clients. It's one of my favorite things to do for my done for you clients, especially when they're like excited about launching a course or they really want to get out there. Like, I love pulling together that webinar presentation, really helping them draw their story out and their unique selling proposition. And so once I determine, well, what is it that I enjoy doing? What's that problem that I'm really, really good at solving and that I enjoy solving? That helped me to start narrowing down my target client. Because even though there are a lot of things that you can help your ideal client in, there's going to be one or two specific things that you really, really enjoy the most. And sometimes this takes a little bit of time to start narrowing it down. For example, when I first started coaching clients, I was doing like general business coaching. So I worked with people who had multi-level marketing opportunities. I worked with people who were doing who needed corporate clients. I worked with people who had e-commerce store. And then I also worked with someone who did coaching. And I realized, even though I can help each one of these clients in their marketing, what I really enjoyed was working specifically with service-based entrepreneurs. So I ended up not going after additional clients who were in e-commerce because I just like e-commerce didn't really excite me that much. The margins were very slim. So I just didn't feel like I was really able to take someone from like 0 to 100. At most, helping my clients in e-commerce, or the one client that I had in e-commerce, I really was able to help her, but it just wasn't the impact that I knew that I could create if I worked with someone who was a service-based entrepreneur who had a lot more room to kind of play with their margins and just a little more room to grow, essentially. So that leads me into step 2, or the second way that I narrowed down my target client was I determined who gets the best results with me. And part of that was going through and looking at, okay, who are the different types of clients that I'm working with? Who is it that's getting the best results with me? So for example, I worked with that client who her ideal client was corporate clients. And while I helped her get in a great position, we pulled together her marketing. She was really clear on like the type of corporate client she wanted to go after and what she needed to do next. But the result was so far off because corporate clients, they have a longer decision process typically. So it's a little bit of a longer time frame. And my coaching program was 8 weeks long. And I really wanted to help clients get that result in 8 weeks, or at least get a massive result in 8 weeks. I didn't want to have to wait for a corporate client who might take several months to make a decision. And then, I've got to follow up with my client like, hey, how did everything go? And I really wanted them to leave that 8 weeks with a full project completed and with results right away. And I realized those clients who got the best results with me were not just service-based entrepreneurs, but essentially coaches and people who were selling some sort of coaching program or offering something where they were essentially selling to the end user, not necessarily just selling to like a corporation or to another business, but actually going directly for that end user. And once I realized that, that's when I narrowed down even more. And I started saying, okay, great. That means that I need to stop looking for clients who, maybe potentially have an MLM, or clients who just have this general business, or even clients who, are going to be sending out proposals and things like that. Like, I need to work with clients who can directly go after their ideal client. And that's the second way that I started narrowing down my ideal client. And then the third and final way that I started to narrow down my target client was to determine who do I actually enjoy working with. Now, this was not like, okay, what type of business owner or what type of, person, like, are they professional? Or are they young? Are they old? It wasn't about that. It was more of their personality and the way that they approach life and the way that they think. And the way that I was able to narrow this down was when I first started coaching clients, I would give them an initial assignment. And the initial assignment was for them to watch a training that really, really impacted me. And it's a training by Jack Canfield. It's called Teachers of the Secret. So if you've ever read the book, The Secret, or watched the movie, The Secret, there's actually several trainings. So there's a couple of different trainings from some of the teachers who taught in The Secret, where they did a full-on presentation. I guess they had like a live conference or something like that. And this one in particular was the one that had the biggest impact on me. So part of the homework or the pre-work before clients started working with me was for them to watch that training, Teachers of the Secret, and in particular, the one by Jack Canfield. And I remember I would give out that pre-work, and there would be some clients who did it and they were like, oh yeah, I've already watched The Secret. Like, I watched the Jack Canfield Teachers of the Secret, like you told me to, and I just loved it. It was great. Like, I'm ready to get started. They would give me their goals, and then we would just hit the ground running, and they were the ones who got the best results. Then I had other clients who were like, yeah, I heard of The Secret, and I know you mentioned to watch it. Like, I am going to watch it, but I just haven't had a chance to watch it yet. And every client that I booked, I would, essentially they had several days before our first call, and the movie is like an hour long. An hour, like, it's not very long at all. So I knew that there was plenty of time for them to watch it. So the fact that they would come to the first call and then like not actually do the pre-work or the homework, those clients did not get the results that I was expecting for them to get. And if I actually go back through and look at what their goals were, they probably didn't get the results that they wanted either. And what I realized was that the type of clients that I really, really work well with and I enjoy working with are clients who are a little bit woo, to be honest. Like, that's what I am. Like, I really enjoy learning about the spiritual side of things and how like your mindset can impact your results, how you can manifest and create your own life, how we're constantly like perceiving and creating and perceiving and creating. And the clients that I love working with are basically just like me in that area. They are very much into like, I know if I speak it into existence, I know that it's going to happen. And there are certain people who they kind of maybe believe it or they kind of don't, or they're just not really there. Like, I just don't enjoy working with them as much. Like, I don't know a nice way to say it, but I love working with clients who are into the woo. And so what I started to do was to narrow down my target client and really attract the people that I wanted to attract, was to start talking about that a lot more. And even though, so I grew up a certain way, and like, I'll just put it out there. Like, I grew up in a very Christian household. And like, I guess sometimes the stuff that I talk about is like on the edge of like Christianity versus spirituality. And when I first started talking about it, and I started talking about like law of attraction and manifestation and all of that, I was a little bit nervous, because I knew that like, if you don't say like, specifically like you're getting this because God said so or because Jesus said so. Like it sometimes in, my family and extended family, like that can be seen as like you're a heretic or whatever. And so when I first started like talking about it, I was a little nervous, but I knew based on my beliefs, based on what I believe and what I've learned in my life, that there's no separation, right? God is love. God is omnipresent. Like love is everywhere. Love is like, there's no separation and there's no here or there or that or this or the other. And I'm not going to get too deep into it, but that's essentially what I believe. And so because I was able to put those beliefs out there, I was able to attract the clients who believe the same things, who don't see it as separate and don't see, a fight or a competition between like religions and between beliefs. Like there's just one. We are all one. Like that's essentially what I believe. And so as I started talking about that more in my marketing, that's when I started attracting the right clients for me. So once you get those three pieces together and you realize and get clear on who you want to work with, like who your ideal client is from a like who they are type of perspective. And then also who gets the best results with you, like who you're really good at helping get those results. And also the problem that you're really good at solving. So like what you actually want to do and what you enjoy. Then you can start narrowing down to like your typical demographics. Like, okay, is it a female or a male that I want to work with? Are they old or young? Are they, of a certain race? Do they live in a certain area? Do they make a certain income level? Because there are slices of the market that you can work with. Like if you were to say like, okay, I only want to work with women who are, 45 years old. Well, women 45 or even women aged, 45 to 55, like there are a lot of different types of clients in that subset. Like there's millions and millions and millions and millions of people in the world. So you've got to be really, really clear on those things even before you kind of start slicing down to those demographics. So how did you narrow down your ideal client? Let me know exactly what you did. I do have I've got an old school training that I did on narrowing down your ideal client. And if that's something that you like a copy of, all you got to do is come to Instagram. So come to @LaTisha Styles TV and send me a DM and just say, hey, I just watched your YouTube video and I would love a copy of that target client presentation that you did. I will send you the details right away in there and you'll be able to watch it. Like I said, it's a really good training. It's a 5-part live stream series that I did where I talked about kind of those basics of like narrowing down your target client. So definitely come over to Instagram, just send me a DM and I'll definitely hook you up with it. Thanks so much for watching and I'll see you guys in the next one. Okay, bye.